Welcome, 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 everyone, to a lovely Friday. Today, conviction. Today, we're going to do a practical exercise. Throughout the day, as you remember to, I want you to simply say to yourself a simple phrase: I am. There's a reason for this. The reason is conviction. Sometimes we say things to ourselves, eh? Or we think certain things. But when you stop and say, I am, it does something to you. You start to feel something stirring within you. That something will either be, I am? Really? How? I can't be. The reason why you're going to say it to yourself is until you become convicted of the truth of it. I am. Really? No, not possible. It isn't possible. And then you take yourself from there to maybe I am. Because as you go through the day, you will begin to see the evidence of your I amness. Not only will you become more bold, mm, curious too, because now you're going to test yourself to say, I am, right? So I should be able to dot, dot, dot. You see, practical exercises are simple and they're fun and they are easy. Okay? So while you were practicing I am, because it's gonna feel weird. That's like walking in, but every mirror you walk by, you look in and you say, I am beautiful. And at first you may not believe it, but something will happen to you over time throughout that day as you walk by every mirror and you say, ooh, I am beautiful, or I'm handsome. Something will happen to you. And you will begin to feel within yourself, wait a minute, this I'm changing. And you will sense the change within yourself, because what we're going for is the level of conviction, so that when you say I am, one, you're not just saying it with words, because words come out after the thought has been formed, and then actions follow, right? But you see that I am, you're not conditioning it with anything. You're not saying I am lovely, I am anything. I only gave the example of the mirror to say I am beautiful or I'm handsome, so you get the hang of it. You want to become solid in that conviction that I am, so that when you say I am, you begin to know I am. It's a simple exercise. Of course, you may feel a little weird and funny doing it, but the purpose is far greater than what you can possibly think of. You know why? Because when you are convicted that I am, well, all things are possible to him that believeth. Hmm? And what do you believe? Well, that I am. What is I am? I am. You are aware of where you are right now. You are aware that you are someone. You are aware that you are doing something. You are aware. I am is that awareness. And that I am is not victim. That I am is not prisoner. That I am is not slave. That I am is the molder and shaper of your world. You just don't know it yet. You're not convicted of it. Or, in other words, you're not convinced of it. So that's why you practice. You know what? I am. Whatever situation, you know what? I am. I can overcome any situation. I can get through anything. I have clarity. You begin to develop a boldness, confidence, self-esteem, and your worthiness. I know there's a sentence in Your Faith is Your Fortune that says, you do not have to think about whether you are worthy or unworthy. You are I am. Worthy or unworthy is a condition. You do not condition your I am until you are sure of what it is you want to shape it into. And you should only shape it into good things. Well, there's only good, isn't there? Only good. So as you go through the day today, when you catch your memory and yourself, remind yourself of who you are. I am. You see, because when you say, if you walk through the day and say, oh, I am Matthias, you know what Matthias is capable of doing. But Matthias is limited. I am is unlimited. Get to know that part of yourself. The unlimited part. The unrestricted part. Because it is that part that I am that shapes Matthias. That's what you're doing. So when you remember today, I am. Again, you don't have to say it out loud. You don't. You know what it's akin to? You are at a rally, okay? And the speaker is trying to rile you up, get you fired up. You know, there was a popular phrase, yes, we can, right? Back in the day. The people who believed, yes, we can, they developed an attitude, a conviction of yes, they could. Well, they sure did. When you say I am, you are rallying your troops, which is your courage. You're calling it unto yourself. You're getting fired up. Because the more you say it or think it to yourself, it builds momentum. Oh, it will. I am. Ah, shoot. I am. I am. And you become more bold and more, like it just does something to you. Until such time, you're not going to have to think your I am anymore. Because you will know that you are. And it is that knowing place that you'll create from. I'll create from that place. You see, you just get ready so that you're always ready in that state of I amness. When you have quiet time, sit and see if you can feel it. Because think about it. This is what I've been experimenting with. And I say to myself, look, I can feel my body. I know where my legs are, my toes are, my nose. I know where everything is. Because I have form, I can touch it. So I know it's there. But I also know there's a formless and shapeless part of me. I want to sense that. You see, you need your senses so you can touch the form and the shape that you are. But there's something else to you, formless and shapeless. What is required to sense that? So if you sit quietly and just breathe, the noise of the world will fade away. Soon, the noise of your heartbeat and the rhythm of it and the swoosh of blood in your ears will fade away. It's still happening, but it will fade away. And you will begin to sense something else, which is you, the formless, shapeless part of you. Because it is formless and shapeless does not mean it is not there. You just have not become aware of it. So now in that silence, that's what you're becoming aware of, so that you will begin to know, I am the shapeless and formless part of you, the most powerful part of you, the unlimited part, the part that forms and shapes worlds. I am. So that's the exercise. Take it through the weekend. See what happens to you. Take it through the weekend. That I am. See what happens. And you'll be amazed by it. Not because I say so, but when you come upon yourself and recognize the greatest part of yourself, it changes you. It changes you in a way that only you will comprehend when you experience it. I can tell you how sweet that candy is. But until you try it for yourself, well, you won't know. You'll only have to take my word for it. But again, the law is not about hearsay. The law is about experience. It wants you to experience your own self, your I am. It wants you to do it. If you'll notice, the law makes things simple so that you will be curious to test yourself, right? Sorry, guys, I can hear the chicken. She's out there going nuts. Sorry. Listen, I am. I am. That part of you is the real you. It has not been injured by anything. It is you. It sees, it knows, it teaches, it guides. You can also refer to it as the still small voice within. Remember the 2 times that you will hear. Oh, shoot, I should have listened. Or, oh, wow, I am so glad I listened. Look at how well it turned out. That is the evidence of your still small voice within you, your I am. Some call it intuition. But how will you begin to trust if you don't take time to listen and get to know the I am that's within you? You want to get up every day and try to do something? Or do you want to get up every day knowing who and what you are and what you're capable of doing and do it? Well, you get to decide that. I can't force you to do a single thing. I can try my best to arouse your curiosity so you'll try it out for yourself. The best place to live from is the place of I am. Because now you're not dependent. As Neville says, you don't need the aid of anyone. You can get it done. Not because you're an island, but because I am has ways that we don't know of. We can't see it because we don't see the way I am does. I am has no eyes. But don't be mistaken. It is not blind. It sees and it knows. You and I, our physical selves, rely on 5 senses to navigate. But you see, I am will see a greater distance and whisper, turn left, turn right, stand still. But if you don't develop that ear and sense of the presence of I am, when you hear something, it may scare you. Oh my God, what did I hear? That is why you take the time. Take the time to develop I am, or your awareness of I am. Develop that. You become more disciplined with it because you find now that you're not like this leaf in the wind, tossed hither and yon by your emotions. Angry one minute, sad the next. Elated one moment, crying the next. No, that's not what we are. We're not that. Yes, we have emotions because they're information telling us something. But as Joaquin so beautifully put it, we get to choose. Choose according to I am. You think I am is going to put you out there in a precarious position? That's not what it's about. It does not deceive. It does not lead you astray either. Why not? Because it's you. And it only has your greatest and highest good as its objective. And no, it's not going to hurt somebody else so you can achieve that objective. It doesn't do that. How do I know? Experience. And that's why I take the time every day, all day. The only way to get here is to be still so you can sense it for yourself. And when it guides and leads you where it needs to, and you see that, oh, you do have my best interest at heart. I wonder what grows out of that. Trust. Oh, I wonder who you're trusting. Yeah, you. You're trusting I am. You see that? Then you will recognize there's no place for fear because I am eliminates it. There's no need for desperation because I am just obliterates it. How? Because when you know that you are, you also know that all things are possible to him that believes. You know that now with I am. That you can call those things that are not as though they were and watch them become. You want a new idea that's never been thought of before? Of course, people say there's nothing new under the sun. But you want to be more creative? Spend some time in the silence with I am, and the ideas will blow your mind. And then you'll get the opportunity to capitalize on such ideas, and people will say, oh my God, you're such a visionary. And all you did was spend time with I am. You want your business to flourish? Spend time with I am. And you will get the ideas how to market, how to show people the value of what you bring, so that they will clamor for it. You can't produce it fast enough. And then they'll say, here, take my money. Where were you my whole life? But you're scared to spend time with I am? Be encouraged to spend time with I am so you can grow beyond your present limitation. All you need do is be clear about what it is you want to experience. We think that just ends and begins with material things. Far from it. You want a deeper spiritual experience? What does that look like? How are you going to feel with that? Well, then, the same principle applies. Spend time in the quiet, and you will discover more and more about I am. Next thing you know, you can see clearly. You can hear clearly. I'm not speaking just physically. I'm talking beyond physical. Indeed. You see, I know for a very long time we've been taught to be a particular way. But now we must be curious enough to go past that. As we read last night in Your Faith is Your Fortune, you must cast your net on the other side. You want bigger fish? You gotta cast your net in deeper waters. You want bigger and more beautiful experiences? Get closer to I am. But here's the funny thing. You can't get close to I am. Wait, what now? Nor can you be far from I am. Why not? Because I am is you. How you gonna be near to yourself and far from yourself? Because you are you. So you see how easy the law makes things for us? You don't have to go searching. I am. Where are you? What? No. Just sit there for a moment and you'll sense it. Because it is you. So you see, everything has been designed for you to succeed. Of course, it doesn't look like that. Look at where we live in the world and how we live in it. But I'm telling you, until you accept that, which is the greatest gift, which is I am, until you accept it as fact, which is easier? Look at the things we accept about ourselves. And some of them aren't even true, but we accept them anyway. But yet you're given the opportunity to accept I am as your greater and unlimited self, and it's beyond your reach. Never that. It is not beyond you, it is you. And until you accept it, as Neville says, well, you'll remain as you are. And you know us as humans, we remain as we are. We don't want to be as we are, but we remain there and we complain. And the law is saying you don't have to complain. Tell me what direction you want to go in, and it has to unfold by way of law. How? Well, what do you want? What do you want to experience? That is how. The law doesn't ask you, are you sure? Is that possible? Is somebody going to laugh at you? Are you weird? Are you too big for your britches? The law doesn't care about that. The law says, what is it that you want? Name it and claim it. Period. Oh, but law, I can't see it. The law says, you don't need eyes to see it. You must know that once you have planted the seed, you don't have a choice but to reap the harvest that you have planted. So how does one persist? We persist when we plant that seed and you say, I'm writing a new script or I am writing a new book. Doesn't matter. See the book is completed. See the book as completed. You know why? Because then when you sit down to write, have you ever heard somebody say, look, I wrote this book in 3 days. I couldn't stop writing. That's what seeing the end, meaning the book is done. And then you are flooded with the ideas from beginning to end. Next thing you know, you're done. You're like, wait, what? How'd that happen? That was so easy. Because you knew what you wanted. Period. What am I going to write about? I don't know how to write. I'm not skilled. I don't have an editor. I don't have a book designer. The law says, what do you want? Your answer, I want to write a book. And the law says, tell me more. What do you want this book to say? Why? Because when you get a hold of the emotion that you want the book to evoke in the reader, you see, you will have to go through those emotions first. They will be stirred up within you so that that is what compels you to write your book. Yes. Next thing you know, huh, I'm done. And then you go somewhere and somebody says something and you're like, editor, done. Designer, done. Publisher, done. And you're like, oh my God, how did that come together? It came together because you stated, you named what you wanted, you claimed it as done, you assumed it was finished. Thus, you were polarized in the direction of success. So, along the paved street of polarity of your success, you don't have a choice but to reap the harvest. But if you look on the other side and go, well, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what to do. I don't know anybody. I don't even know what to write. I don't even know if I got my grammar down. I wonder what's on that street. Obstacles are on that street because that's what you're looking at. You're trying to find every excuse why you cannot. And the law is saying you don't make excuses, name it and claim it because it is done. And according to law, it will unfold. You just got to get a little bold about it. A little bit bold and say, what? I am an author. What kind of author do you want to be? Oh, well, that depends. How do you feel about being an author? Are you stirred up? Mm, that's it. Start to feel when somebody says your name. Oh my God, I read this book about from this writer. Ooh, child, you got to get this book. Begin to read the reviews in your mind. Here in your mind, people are on a podcast and talking about your selection, your plethora of books. Hear it because it will do something to you. It'll make you feel in a particular way and you'll be so aroused you have to follow through to write. That's where you put your attention. You do not put your attention upon, what if nobody buys it? What if nobody has, what if nobody cares about what do I have to say? Well, we all know how that'll turn out. If you're going to tell yourself that nobody cares, why would they? But if you say, oh, yes, they care, they want more of my books, they can't even help themselves, well, then you won't be able to help yourself but to write. You have to correspond. You have to reap what you've sown. Anywho, let's take a moment, shall we, to welcome everyone into the space today. Let's take a moment. I know that Facebook is here, so Indie's on Facebook. I'm streaming on Twitter, so I can't see who's there. But, oh snap. Twitter is there. And I'm just seeing a message. I know he found me because I know. I know that Jeff is there, not to fret. And C staff, all of them are there. Lilith, they are. YouTube, hey David, Joaquin. Joaquin says he's like my chicken this morning because she's out there just pacing. And that's what he's doing as he listens. The better man. Yes, spending time with I am is spending time with yourself. You're not spending time with me. With you, always. Sugar Visions, Cyber, A Not, Asanya, Artorius the Great. I love you all. Who's here on Fanbase this morning? Zola, darling, My Melanin, Matthias, KZ, Miss McQueen, King B, Flo Smiles. I see you two places at once. Summer Rose, I see you, baby. Coach, Afternoon Delight, I see you, girl. L, Comrade, I see you. Listen, today is a beautiful day. So practice spending time with I am so you get to know who, what you are, and what you're capable of. That is your focus for the weekend. Of course it is. See what happens to you. See what unfolds. Again, I can tell you, but there's nothing like Asanya, there's nothing like biting into a fat pork, or this is Bajan things, or a cashew. Cashew is not a nut, it is a fruit, just so we're aware. Or a golden apple or akis, because there might be in season. If you see all those fruits I just listed off, you might not know what they are, but let me tell you, hallelujah, they are the sweetest, tastiest morsels that Mother Nature ever decided to sprinkle upon us. But you won't know until you go to Barbados and experience them for yourself. So you see, that is the importance of spending time with I am. So you can taste and see how good it is for yourself. So that when you know, nobody can come along and tell you, man, that stuff is hocus pocus. How is somebody going to shake your conviction when you have the experience of calling those things that are not as though they were and watching them become? Ain't nobody can take that from you. That is what the law wants, for you to have the experience so that you are not moved by circumstance. You're not moved by emotion. You're not moved by your senses because you're firmly rooted in what? Knowing who and what you are. Anywho, let's get the ball, y'all. Let's get the ball, so that we can go forth today and practice, and I can go see what the problem is with this little winged squirrel that we got out here. She's so sweet. Because she hears me and she wants to be here. And I'm like, no, because you're noisy. Anyway, let's get the ball, y'all. Let's get the ball. That's not what I wanted to play. Hello? This is what I want to play. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Remember to join us tonight, 10:45 p.m. For the conclusion of Your Faith is Your Fortune. Ooh, right here on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Fanbase. Oh, indeed. We will finish that book tonight. Indeed. And I do have a copy of the Book of Thomas. We will start that one Monday. But my focus is still Neville and his teachings, so we get in that mood before we go to sleep. That is the point, to fall asleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I love you all. Thank you for being here today. I'm jealous of Sonia. I don't know if you read it. She had golden apples and sea grapes. And she had Aki's. Oh, homesick. Anyway, I love you all. Much love to you. I'm coming, fan base. We're going to get our water in a minute.